Top Med Talk.
Hello and welcome to Top Med Talk. We're coming to you live from Euroanaesthesia 2025. That's the annual meeting of the European Society of Anaesthesiology and Intensive Care. And we're here in beautiful Lisbon in Portugal. It's been a fantastic meeting so far. We're at lunchtime on the final day of the meeting, and there's still stacks of people here in the healthcare industry reception and in the workshops and in all of the breakout sessions. It's been absolutely fantastic. And we've talked to some really wonderful guests from ESAIC, and we're very lucky now to have Stefan De Hert. Welcome, Stefan. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Thank you, Kate. I'm Stefan De Hert. I'm emeritus professor of anesthesiology at Ghent University. I've been editor for several journals, Anesthesiology, European Anesthesia and Analgesia, and I've been actively involved in the European Society of Anaesthesiology first, and then the ESAIC for many, many years in different positions. Chair of the Scientific Committee, Chair of the Education Committee, past president 2018, 2019, and many years in the board. So I've quite a track record in ESAIC.
And service to the profession and patient safety. At the Congress here in Lisbon, a tunnel that connects two parts of the building has got a wonderful display about the history of ESAIC and all of the incredible people who've contributed. Going way back in time, Stefan, what was the situation with the European Societies of Anaesthesiology?
Well, actually, the European anesthesiology has made a huge evolution. You must know that in the 1990s, beginning of the years 2000, there were three separate professional societies: the European Academy of Anesthesiology, the CENSA, which is a kind of national societies organization, and then the former European Society of Anesthesiologists. And as you can imagine, there was some kind of competition between these, and there was not really a good cooperation between these three societies. But luckily at the time, there were quite a few people that started thinking about an amalgamation, and that took many years of discussions and going up and down. And then finally in 2004, the three presidents signed an agreement to come to one society. And this was signed by the royal decree in January, I think, 2005. And since then, we have the European Society of Anesthesiology.
And then you became the European Society of Anaesthesiology and Intensive Care more recently.
Yep. That was about 2020, was actually... People were talking a lot already in the board whether we should take intensive care, include intensive care in our name, because much of our activity, also scientific activities and at the annual congress, included intensive care. But, the kind of discussions between people wanting to keep anesthesiology separate from intensive care. But finally, mainly thanks to the efforts of the then president, Kai Sakarowski, we agreed finally to change the name and to include intensive care. And this has really broadened our number of participants, our number of delegates by including intensive care.
Over the last 20 years, what do you see as the key milestones and achievements of ESAIC?
From political view, I would say the keys milestones I see is first of all the amalgamation, finally coming to one European society, then the movement to anesthesia and intensive care. These are the real political points that I would say are interesting. And then the different declarations we have made. You have the 2010 Helsinki Declaration, which was signed by EBA, at that time European Board of Anesthesiology, and the European Society of Anesthesiology, and has been signed now, I think, by practically all the national societies in the world.
And what does the declaration contain?
The declaration is about patient safety, basically. So this was really an incentive with a number of recommendations about patient safety. And I think this declaration really triggered the idea that anesthesia should be as safe as possible. And this has, I think, worldwide brought a big changing mindset about which responsibility we have as anesthesiologists taking care of the patients beyond our own beyond our own involvement, but really for the entire perioperative trajectory. Then another point that is for me important is the question of sustainability that has finally come to the signing of the Declaration of Glasgow 2 years ago, and now the update of the Helsinki Declaration. So I think from political point of view, these are the main milestones in the history of the society.
And even the next one was the European Mellon-Olsen Declaration on Diversity, Equity and Inclusion. That was quite a milestone.
Yeah, that's something we talked about already a few years. Initially, we started to think about the importance of sustainability during my presidency, and the board supported this immediately. And then gradually we managed to include gender equity in different committees. You must know that at that time we had from speakers and also in our different committees, if it was 20% women, 80% men, that would probably be a good reflection. And now, thanks to this evolution, we are evolving to a situation where there is almost near equality in our programs, in our speakers, in our committees. And also, we really underscore this fact if we are asked to endorse other events. So, and yeah, you know, I think everyone has known Yannick. So she was really the person, the personalization of these IDs. So I find it a beautiful tribute that they have named that initiative and that declaration after her.
If we were a television program, you would see the smile on Stefan's face when he remembers Professor Mellon-Olsen.
Yeah.
And that's the smile you see on a lot of faces, actually, very fond
Everybody
memory.
loved her, and she was really a dedicated person, open, having fun. No, I think she was a good friend.
Yes. Well, commiserations. Another aspect that has developed over the years with ESAIC has been the involvement of trainees.
Yep.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about that?
I think if I'm correct, that somewhere 2010, the years 2010, we started to realize that if we would not include younger people, the society would grow towards a society of all men and all women, which we wanted to prevent. It's very important to include the young people. And then the trainees committee was instituted. Not really in the beginning as a committee, it's only afterwards that it became a committee. And gradually over the years, they have been implied in more and more committees. Now they have a representative in all committees, and they form nowadays a very strong network all over Europe. And actually, this is very good because if you look at the curve of the membership, the age of the membership, we have a real beautiful Gaussian distribution with quite a lot between the 30 and the 40 years. Then, of course, up with 40, 50 years, and then it's going down. So it's a beautiful representation because they are the future of the society, the future of anesthesiology and intensive care.
Has ESAIC had much involvement in the promotion and funding of research?
Yeah, this was basically initiated, I think, some 20 years ago, certainly, under the impulse of Professor Andreas, past Professor Andreas Hurft, who was himself a very well-known and active researcher, and who started really to put emphasis on the role of ESAIC, ESAIC promoting research, first by own grants, then by grants with other societies and other foundations. And then finally, he also was the driving man behind the ACRO activity of ESAIC. So it's thanks to his efforts in the beginning that we are just now that strong in research. And of course, people who came after him did a huge job.
Yeah.
So ESAIC is really a society for research as well as
And
other things.
does ESAIC have a relationship with the European Journal of Anaesthesiology?
Yeah, actually, the European Journal of Anaesthesiology is the representative, is a journal of the European Society since actually, I think, since the beginning of the old ESA. So that would be 1993, 4, 5, something like that. And what is interesting to see is that over the past 10 years, thanks to the initiative of Professor Tramer in his group, mainly in Geneva, the impact of the journal has increased tremendously.
Oh,
This
tremendously.
has been continued by Professor Mark Zamama, who was the previous editor-in-chief, and now Mark van der Velde. And we have just had rumors that it would even increase to the fourth journal within anesthesiology. So
That's exciting.
we are happy, very happy.
Yes,
It's another successful story of the society.
that's fantastic. So we were discussing what you're now up to, Stefan, which is enjoying retirement.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're still here at the Congress. Do you miss everybody too much
Yeah,
to not
it's
come?
always fun to come back and see the people, the old friends, the new friends, meeting again with the staff members, which whom I've developed a very good relationship over the past 10, 15 years. And I think I really want to underscore this point. It's the fact that they are crucial for the success of the European society. They are so dedicated, so motivated, and their daily work is contributing a lot to the success of the society.
I think a lot of people who work in, administrative and supportive operational roles in medicine feel like through their actions they're helping patients.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
basically the
totally
case.
are, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You can find this podcast on our app and also on our website. And you can also find us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Blue Sky, and we're on YouTube. And if you go to YouTube, please give us a big thumbs up because every thumbs up helps us. We'd like to thank ESAIC for their generous welcome at this meeting and also to our sponsors, BD, Advanced Patient Monitoring, and GE Healthcare, without whom we couldn't bring Top Med Talk free and open access to the world. Cheers.
Top Med Talk.
Thanks for downloading Top Med Talk. Don't forget to subscribe, check us out on YouTube, and of course on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook and X. Also, it's important to remember that Top Med Talk is the broadcasting arm of EBPOM, Evidence-Based Perioperative Medicine. We'd love you to find out more about that, and the way to do that is ebpom.org. Check out our website and find out about some of the incredible conferences we're going to be arranging across the year. ebpom.org.